everyone. Welcome to episode 13, lucky number 13 of the Divided by Werewolf show. We are back in Dead Rising 4, a zombie game, because we're going to be talking about a zombie movie. And another movie.
Yes.
So, you're going to have to bear with us as we try the Plaza of Pain, which I'm sure will be painful. I like your, you look like, I mean, not so much with the high and tight, but your character, he looks like, oh, I totally forgot his name. He was Cuddy on The Wire, and then he was on Walking Dead, and he died. The bigger African-American guy with the beard. I think he was Sasha's brother.
Tyrese?
No.
T-Dog?
No. Was it Tyrese? Yeah, I guess it was Tyrese, yeah.
Yeah, it was Tyrese.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I just saw him in something recently. I can't remember what it was, though. Or maybe I didn't.
I picked this guy because he reminded me of Sam B from Dead Island.
Oh, well, there you go. Oh, is that the rapper guy?
Yes.
Oh, his raps were terrible.
He was spitting hot fire.
I tried to play him at the beginning. When I played Dead Island, I tried to play him in that little... that movie at the beginning where he was rapping. I was like, you are awful. These raps are terrible.
No. You don't like Who Do You Voodoo?
Oh, God.
Man,
don't even. Who Do You Voodoo? That's right. I forgot that's what it was.
That's my jam.
Yeah, I forgot all about Who Do You Voodoo. Yeah, no, that's great. Very good. I'm glad I remembered that. Okay, so we have, like I mentioned, we have two movies that we're going to talk about tonight. First is Train to Busan. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly. And then we're also going to talk about Split, the latest psychological thriller, I guess you would call it, from M. Night. Yeah. I always pronounce his name wrong. Shyamalan? I always call him Shyamalama Ding Dong, which I know is highly disrespectful, but it is what it is. Okay, so Train to Busan. This is a Korean zombie movie, which if you had to categorize it, if you had to give the elevator pitch, would you call it Zombies on a Train?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't want to diminish
Essentially,
it.
yeah. That's what I call it.
So how did you first hear about it?
Honestly, it's one of those ones that I can't really tell you exactly like who's the first person to mention it to me or whatever it was, but like it was one of those ones that I just kept hearing about. Like everybody's talking about it, and then it started. So here's what happened with this movie for me. I missed it in 2016, and so what I tend to do is, because I always feel like I've missed stuff. What the fuck are we supposed to be doing?
I was gonna say, what are we supposed to be doing? Oh, dragon heads.
No idea.
We're supposed to take pictures of dragon heads.
Oh, okay.
All right. So you said
I saw it.
You felt like you missed it.
Yeah, I did. So what I do is, I got it. I look at everybody's list. The first people start putting out lists of the best of, and it kept hitting most people's at least top 5 and lots of top 3s of people whose opinions I actually give a shit about. And so I was like, all right, well, I have to see this. And so we rented it, and immediately, like, oh god, it was so good. My guy was completely floored by it. I had no idea how good it was.
Yeah, so I get all my horror recommendations from. I would not have. Oh shit! I'm dying already. I don't know how that happened.
I'm gonna get you over.
So I had no idea that the only. I mean, I have a little bit of like exposure to Korean horror. Like I know about The Host, and there's kind of been some other things. Was Monsters? Is that? No, that was a different one. So I had never heard of it. Didn't even know about it until you had mentioned it for me, or to me. So, what is it that you really liked about it?
The main thing I liked about it was what I like about so many. If I like a zombie thing, it's more than 9 times out of 10. God damn, I'm bleeding out now. Yeah, I have died. So 9 times out of 10, if I get really into a zombie thing, because at this point in my life, dude, I'm so over zombies, and you know, it takes a lot for me to get excited about a zombie thing these days. But the ones that I really do like, it comes down to if I give a shit about the characters or not. You know, if I'm, you know, if I end up rooting for the zombies, I end up bored, like, quickly. And so this movie, I just, man, the characters, I absolutely love the characters. Like, it wasn't, I mean, you have your cliche, you know, people, you always do that, but, like, I don't know, there's just something about the story, the way it was told. I got super into the story. I love the characters, and I think that is a testament to how well it was acted.
Right,
because that's what really did it for me.
So the Roscoe's comment was the little girl, the actress who played the little girl, was incredible, and she was. So basically, the idea behind this movie, for the people who haven't seen it, is it basically focuses on this guy. We did terrible this day. By the way.
That was awful.
And he's a fund manager, and he's estranged from. I don't know. He's got a very young daughter. I'm not so sure I'd go so far as to say he's estranged from her, but they don't really get along. And he is taking her. It's her wish to take the train to Busan to see her mom. And while they're on the train, before the train can pull out from the station, this girl, who's clearly been bitten by something, gets on the train and proceeds to infect the whole train with some sort of fast zombie virus, is probably the way that I would put it. These are more of your World War Z, your 28 days later. 28 days later. Kind of zombies. But and so then it becomes this everybody on the train, and like you said, you've got some of your stereotypical characters. You've got kind of the tough guy character who initially doesn't get along with the main guy. You've got the kind of the asshole, selfish businessman guy. You've got a bunch of teenagers, and kind of how they all work together to try to get to Busan. And I would agree with you. I did feel that it was really well acted. But I think for me, ultimately, my kind of disinterest in zombie movies in general wasn't necessarily enough to overcome the rest of it.
So that's worth mentioning too, that it will not change your mind if you don't dig zombies or you're tired of zombies and this and that. It's not going to do a whole lot to change your mind. And again, I say that saying, you know, before that I'm tired of zombies, but I still watch The Walking Dead when it comes on and shit like this. Like, I still watch a lot of zombie shit.
We watch Walking Dead more to kind of make fun of it and kind of see what happens, and less out of like a real love of the genre.
Love or interest in the show, true. But still, like, you know, if you tell me tomorrow that George Romero is making a movie, I'm going to be like, fuck yeah, zombies!
Oh, yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I'm going to be there.
Absolutely.
So, you know, but, so I think, like, you touched on the dad, so the thing, like, again, it starts off right off the bat, sort of pulling at the heartstrings just a bit, because this poor kid, you know, the dad comes home, I think it's like, I don't know if it's a birthday or something called Kids Day or something like that.
They call it Kids Day, so I'm assuming it's...
Kids Day, right? So he shows up, and he's got a Wii U again, and she's got like 2 other Wii U's in it.
I think it was just a regular Wii. I think that was the worst part.
Or maybe it was.
It wasn't even. It was a black Wii, and I was like, oh, yeah.
Right, and he's like, oh, I already got you this. She's like, yeah, for my birthday and Kids Day. So for the 3rd time,
yeah, right.
he's buying her a Wii. Like, this guy pays his kid no attention whatsoever. It's like, it was, I don't know, man. It's just one of those things, just like, fuck, dude, really? And then obviously, you know, the grandmother's raised her and this and that. And the only thing she wants to do is to go, please let me go see my mom. And I don't know how long it's been. Like, I don't tell you really how long it's been since she's seen her mother or what the whole deal with that is. But right there, they're letting you know, hey, this isn't going to be your typical sort of zombie, you know, bullshit movie.
Right, right, and I agree. Like I really liked kind of what they did with the relationship between the two, because they did. This guy knew that he's not like. Unlike in The Monster, where I felt as if they kind of kept putting this poor kid through all this trauma so that the mom could earn some redemption that, frankly, as a character, she didn't deserve.
Nope.
I felt like this was a slightly different kind of thing going on. Like, one, the dad in this movie, he's not as bad as the mom in The Monster.
Right.
So you do feel somewhat more sympathetic. Like, he is trying. He's just really kind of bad at it.
He's something. Yeah, it's like a disconnect. Like he doesn't get how distant he's being.
Right. Whereas in The Monster, I mean, she knew she was a shit, and I mean, and that definitely kind of added to it. Like, I mean, the fact that she knew, she kind of knew what an asshole she was being, but at the end of the day, she was still like being a really horrible person to her kid.
Right. Yeah, they give her that one scene where she's like trying to fight the alcohol, and she's like,
nope.
And she goes into the garbage and gets it. Yeah, she's like, nope, can't do it. Sorry.
Right. Sorry.
Yeah, did my best.
Right.
Almost made it a whole day.
but what I liked as the movie went along that you did your opinion of some of these characters did change. Like, for example, we kind of talked about like the guy who the tough guy, like he's got a pregnant wife and he's trying to help her out. He initially doesn't get along with the main character whose name I'm probably just gonna get wrong.
Oh, I'm not gonna try. I'm just gonna call them by dad, daughter,
right.
Strong Elvis.
Right.
Like, I can't.
But he eventually comes around to the guy and they work together, and then the kind of asshole businessman. I mean, he was.
Ooh,
I mean, you kind of you somewhat understood kind of why he was doing what he's doing. So, I mean, not to say that you could. I'm not going to say sympathize with him, but he wasn't just the kind of the caricature of the sneering businessman. I mean, he was definitely selfish, and that ended up kind of not working out too well for him. But I don't know. I didn't feel like everybody was like a caricature of characters. I felt like they're pretty well done.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, just you don't normally see a train is one of those. It's like an airplane in that it's self-contained, so
yes.
You can't just jump off of it. And they did some interesting things where the zombies, I couldn't tell, were they afraid of the dark or they just didn't know what to do in the dark? But they kind of played with the tunnels.
That's what I'm thinking. Like they sort of relied on vision, I think, more than anything else.
Oh, okay. So they kind of used that, knowing like what the schedule was for tunnels to be able to kind of help themselves get through the various cars. Where are we going, by the way?
I will be damned if I know how to get upstairs right now, and that's where we have to go.
Okay.
Somehow we have to get up top there, but I can't find the only staircase I see is blocked off, and if you go out there, then it's not connected to this part of the mall.
Okay.
Like, here's the stairs here. Oh, shit, there's an open button. God damn it.
Oh, you found it? Okay, I'm coming. I have, like, no weapons.
Right there beside it. Jesus. So dumb. So dumb. That's all right. It's right here at the top of the steps, too.
We got a problem.
Yeah, got it.
Alright, what am I supposed to do? Small pin-up. Oh, you got the dragon fireworks. Bear bombers destroyed. Alright. Let's see where that
Yeah,
is.
we got our main objective out of the way, so now we can try to do these side objectives if we want.
I don't know where the hell the bear bomber is. I mean, I also I like the fact that they don't really. God damn it! This game is not helping my opinion of zombies one bit.
I hear you.
Like, I'm all for Like, I'm all for there being zombies all over the place. Like, I understand that's the point of the game. But for Christ's sake, if you're going to put a giant fucking crate down in the middle of the goddamn mall and tell me to get something out of it, then fucking let me get something out of it, for Christ's sake. I mean, how am I supposed to get what... Collect your reward or die. Either way works for us. I think they could probably give you a little bit of a break so that you can actually pick up these things.
This is real Dead Rising right here.
Well, this is why I never played Dead Rising. Anyway, so are there a lot of like Korean zombie movies? Like, is that a
No, that's the other thing I thought was kind of cool. Like, I'm sure there are others. There's a movie called Versus that I saw several years ago, but I can't tell you with 100% certainty whether it's Korean or what. Honestly, I'm not sure. But it was really good. But there's not that much that I've seen. Now, I'm sure there's others out there. But I thought that was neat to see, somebody else's take on that. I thought it was cool.
Right. And the zombies themselves, I mean, they're nothing special. You know, they're your typical kind of rage zombies.
Right.
They bite you, you turn. You know, kind of end of story. I don't want to say that I didn't like it. To me, it was like, okay, I just was, I'm not going to say I was underwhelmed by it, but, I knew how much you had enjoyed it, and I guess I expected to kind of like it more, because you and I are usually on the same page. If you say you really liked something, then I usually like it too. So I was curious to hear what it was exactly about this one that really kind of got you going on it.
Characters.
Yeah.
Characters and being on a train.
Yeah.
I see the fucking bear, but I don't know what to do to it. Oh, I have to destroy it. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's interesting because, a train is one of those things where it's not like a plane in that you've got to worry about it crashing. But that is one thing they kind of did something with, is there was a pretty cool scene towards the end where this flaming engine car comes out of like nowhere and derails a train that they had been on, and you got to shit. Sorry, I'm trying to. And so then they had this really cool scene where they were kind of crawling through where this one train car was leaning up against another one, while all these zombies then started kind of pouring out of the car. So they did have some really cool imagery that typically I don't think you see in a zombie movie. That was done, because it was on a train.
Yeah.
Okay, where the hell? Oh, there it is. Alright, I got one of them. Yay, I finally contributed something.
That's 4. And the other one is up top there, so let me see if I can open this door here.
So, the guy whoever made the movie, and again, I apologize, I don't want to try to butcher their names. Are you...
That's why I didn't look. I knew I would ruin it.
Are you familiar... Oh, there it is. With their work at all?
No. No, not at all.
Yay! We did it.
No, the only thing I knew about this movie, again, like going into it, was that everybody loves it. But that's backfired on me this year also with the Greasy Strangler, because Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh yeah, I still have to.
Ooh.
You said not to watch that.
No, you don't have to. Don't let anybody tell you have to watch the Greasy Strangler.
Just say no. If you don't want to do something, you don't have
to.
Now,
I mean, watch it. But if you want, no. Watch a trailer, make your own decision.
No, I know what it's about, and I remember reading going,
Lord.
That could go either way. And you're saying it didn't go the right way.
I did not like it. That's all I'll say.
That's fine. Oh, shit. Didn't mean to do that. God damn it. Alright, so what is next? Kill with fire.
Kill zombies with fire, but we don't have to do that. That's just one of those things. We're just waiting until 9 o'clock now, which is
2 minutes.
Yeah, and it'll tell us where to go. There we go.
All right.
Yay.
Yeah, for me, it's funny because like I have plenty of zombie movies that I'll rewatch, but in terms of like new ones, I don't know, for whatever reason.
Yeah, you like the old stuff?
Yeah, and I don't know if it's because I do feel to a certain degree like they're just kind of they're just playing on the same thing, so I might as well watch something like like watch something that I don't know, have some. I don't know if it's not a question of wanting familiarity with it. I think it's just going, I don't know, seeing if I see something new or whatever.
Right. But well, I think that's why 28 Days Later hit as hard as it did, because that movie probably cost like $50 to make, but that's the first time as far as I had seen fast zombies, and I was like, holy shit, like they were scary before, but goddamn,
yeah,
this is a whole different ball game here, you know?
Yeah. But no, I mean, Train to Busan, I think it's definitely worth watching. I don't feel like I wasted my time or anything. And I felt like the character arcs that they had were really well done. I don't feel like anybody kind of the way things ended up. I don't feel like they cheated or that, you know, people didn't earn kind of what they got in the end. But, you know, I don't know. As far as zombie movies go, it's going to take... I mean, and nowadays, I think it's just because they're just all over the place. For something to really kind of stand out, I think it would have to be just really, like, either weird or exceptional. So,
yeah. I can see that. Like I said, like the only other things I really would again like to comment on or whatever is what Roscoe commented on, is the little girl.
Oh, yeah.
Jesus Christ. Dude, if you can watch this movie and not even remotely, like, not even tear up, which I did, but not even remotely feel anything, then you don't have a heart, because I don't know where they found this kid, but my God.
Yeah, no, she was amazing.
She was fucking good.
Yeah, there definitely were some uncomfortable moments where you're just like, okay, just stop. Like, I don't...
Please stop. Yeah, I get it. Like,
I can't put up with this. Right, exactly, yeah. You're making me very uncomfortable right now.
Yes. And that's what you're supposed to be doing, but I get it. Please stop.
Right. Mission accomplished. I feel terrible.
Right. So that's the only other thing I think, and that's another thing that really pushed over top, because we know we didn't do a top, and I've thought about doing one, but if I were to do a top whatever horror movies of 2016, I'd probably put Train to Busan as number 3 for me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I liked it that much.
Why do we have soldiers now?
We have to kill these guys, I think.
Alright.
Destroy the obscurest barricade here, so we have to kill these assholes and somehow destroy this barricade. Oh, which has a health bar, so I'm just going to pound on it, because that's what you do in this game. Pound the X button.
Alright. So the next movie we're going to talk about is one of my favorites of the year, although the year is young. When I think about... It's also one of the favorite ones I think that we have talked about.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta kill this guy. So we... Shit, sorry. Yay, I reached a new level. And that is Split, the latest by M. Night Shyamalan. Did you see The Visit?
Yep. Oh yeah, dude, yeah. I'm a huge fan. Like, I know it's fun to like make fun of him or pick on him or talk shit about him now. I fucking love that guy. Yeah, there's not a movie he's made that I didn't like.
Really? See, I haven't seen... Well, Lady in the Water,
but
Lady in the Water was awful. That was...
Loved it.
Really?
Yes, sir.
I thought that was terrible. I felt
I
bad.
had a blast.
I felt bad for Paul Giamatti. That's how bad. That's how much I did not like that movie.
You know what? I get that. I do. Like, I'm not an apologist. I understand. But yeah, for me, I loved it.
I haven't seen The Happening because I don't know. Shit.
That's my least favorite.
I love
But I
Signs.
still liked it.
To this day, one of the one of the scariest things for me is in Signs when the kid is hiding in the coal hopper. No.
Okay,
When he's hiding in the coal hopper and the finger moves.
Yes. Yeah.
Wow. What the hell happened there, man? I got like.
Well, I was.
I'm right next to you. If you can revive me.
I'm trying to. What the fuck? I'm holding B. There we go.
Thank you.
Oh, my weapons are gone. You fell back down. I don't know. Kill the obscurest lieutenant. Okay, that's who's wrecking our shit right now. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm paying attention now, sort of.
I'm trying to kill this exosuit asshole.
That's the guy, I think. That's the lieutenant.
I don't know. Somebody's.
That's it. We did it.
Okay, good. So I'm a fan of his movies too, although, I just kind of felt like I never watched The Last Airbender because I love the TV show.
That one I didn't see. You're right. I didn't give a shit about the source material, so I didn't watch that one. That's
actually a really good show, but my understanding is he didn't do a great job with it.
Yeah.
But so The Visit for me was the first time kind of coming back to his stuff, and it was somewhat low budget, pretty basic. Kids go to their grandparents. Clearly, clearly something is not right, and I don't even remember what it ended up being, to be honest. But I remember that I liked it. All right, let me get over to where you are. And so, Split is the next movie that he made, kind of with the same. Oh, you're dead. The same production company.
Mm-hmm.
James McAvoy, Professor X, also known as the guy in Wanted, which is one of my all-time favorite comic book movies. Even
yes, sir.
Plays Kevin, as well as 22 other identities. I think is the final number 24. I guess if you count the
24,
I
think. Yeah.
So Kevin's a young man with the Hollywood version of dissociative identity disorder, which is split personalities, and he kidnaps 3 girls, one of which is Anya Taylor-Joy from The Witch, who's just as good in this movie as she was in that one. I mean, my God, does the camera love her face? Like, they used close-ups, and the cinematography in this movie was fantastic, and they just used close-ups so well in this movie, and in large part the reason it works is because, I don't know, just the camera loves her face. What is those? Are you upstairs?
Help.
Where are you?
I'm downstairs.
Who is? What the hell? Oh, they're on the. Are they on the? They're on the pirate ship. Is that what's happening?
Yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm downstairs. The thing was to clear off the deck. We did that, but now it's like they're probably shooting that fucking cannon up there. And it wants us to ring the gong to fight the boss.
Well, I think we should probably try to clear out the. You're talking about the cannons on the ship?
Yeah, I guess that's what blew me up. I wasn't sure. I exploded, whatever happened.
Well, it's not letting me down there. Okay, so Kevin is... Kevin has, like you said, the 23 different... sorry, 23 different personalities, and 3 of them are rebelling against the others because they believe in a 24th identity called the Beast, and they think that if they sacrifice pure people, in this case girls, to the Beast, that the Beast will appear and kind of show them, I guess, the next form of evolution. And he's fucking amazing in this movie.
Yes.
I mean, he is amazing. Like, when you see the changes that he's able to do with his body and his face to designate which
even his voice.
Yes.
I mean,
because these are like
a fucking lisp.
right. Like the identities are like Dennis is the neat freak. He's got like the OCD type of thing going on. Patricia is supposed to be like an older British lady. Hedwig is a 9-year-old kid. So, I mean, these are like very... and then at some point, Dennis is pretending that he's a different identity. He's pretending that he's Barry, which is like I guess, kind of the main non-Kevin identity. But more importantly, Barry is the one that is typically goes to therapy with his therapist. So, I mean, this is not just like... These are totally different identities with different mannerisms, and I am just running around like a fucking idiot because I have no idea where the hell it is I am supposed to be going right now.
I'm about to ring the gong.
Okay, well, I don't know where I am. I'm down in the depths of the mall.
Okay.
So you go ahead and ring it, and hopefully I'll get back there. And so it
requires all players.
Okay, shit, I don't know where it is.
That's all right. We don't have to kill the boss to get through this.
Okay, I am... All right, I'm back. I'm in the Tiki Lounge.
All right.
So I'm on my way. Now, at the same time, Anya, who plays... What was her name? Cassie, I think was her name in the movie. She had also... She's also kind of been through... So you get the impression that Kevin, I don't know where the fuck it is I am supposed to go. God damn it, this game pisses me off. I'm stuck in Tiki Land. And I don't know how to get out, but if I open up a map, then I'm going to die. Oh, god damn it, get the fuck off me.
I'm trying to come back towards you.
There's gotta be some place you can spend the night. Stand by.
Alright, well.
It's about time to hit the safe house anyway.
Yeah, well, that would... If I open up the map, will it pause? Where am I? Okay, I just keep going this way. No, it will not. Awesome. So Cassie, who's one of the girls who's been kidnapped, she's also kind of had some past trauma of her own that you kind of get some flashbacks to while she's trying to effectively manipulate all of the various identities against one another so that she can escape. And I mean, how did you feel about it? Just as like a kind of a psychological. It's not really a horror thriller. I think horror is probably a bit. Okay. Safe house is up top. Like, how did you feel about it as like a scary movie? Let's just call it that.
Yeah, and it was. I think it was a little slow for me, like at the start, and like once I was like, okay, I got it. But something needs to happen here, and it took a while. But it's one of those movies that the payoff is so worth the trip, and you know, you kept it's a Shyamalan or whatever the name is film, so you keep waiting for the twist, and you know it's coming, and it's like, well. You think you've got it figured out, and even, you know, I'm one of those people who tries to guess like what's going to happen for his movies and shit like this. And yeah, I didn't get it. I thought I had it, and I was completely wrong. So that was yeah, I don't know. Like, it's not one of those ones that keeps you guessing, but he was so good. It was even though it was slow, I was never bored.
Yeah, and that's kind of what I felt about it too. I mean, I would definitely like to rewatch it. But
Yes.
it is definitely a slow burn. I mean, there are plenty of times when you do, they kind of ramp things up a little because you feel like she's making some progress in terms of being able to escape. Excuse me, being able to escape, only to have it then kind of fall back, and they kind of rely on that a number of times. That feeling like, oh, okay, she's getting somewhere, and then it fails, and then she's in there with two other girls. Basically, one of the girls invited everybody in the art class to the party, and she invited Cassie because she didn't want Cassie to basically feel left out. But even just the kidnapping scene, I thought was extremely well done at the beginning. This was not one of those, like, I'm not going to start another, if that's okay with you, I don't want to start another episode because I don't think we'd get through it.
Yeah, no worries.
This isn't like a really violent kidnapping. It's very slow, methodical, to the point where when you're watching, you're kind of like, shouldn't somebody be freaking out at this point?
Yeah.
But
that was another thing I thought was fantastic was how that that part there, like, basically it showed just how disconnected from reality people are thanks to cell phones and social media.
Yeah.
Like the kids in the back seat had no clue who was getting in the fucking car. Like, they was like, oh, it's probably Dad.
Right.
Probably Dad. Like,
right. And then they're like, sir, I think you have the wrong car. Like, whatever.
Right.
And just, like,
they didn't freak out. They're just like, sir.
and then he kind of chloroforms them, and then but that scene where Cassie's kind of looking at him like, does he even know I'm here? Like, why did he not? And then she goes to go the door, and it starts dinging, and then he puts his mask back on, like he had taken his mask off, and then he just kind of looks at her and is like, oh Christ, and he puts the mask back. Like, it was very.
I thought that was symbolic, I think, too, a little bit there. How that poor kid was so, she'd seen some shit, but she's almost like nobody even noticed her. Even the guy getting in the car is like, oh shit, there's somebody else right beside me.
Right, but that's also that was her defense mechanism because of what had happened to her as a child. And one of the things that I loved about this movie is they were very consistent with her character in regards to her kind of the way she's dealt with the abuse that she had been. Is that they mention multiple, like Dennis, because he's a neat, when I say OCD neat freak, I'm not trying to what's the word? I'm not trying to trivialize OCD. But I don't know if his compulsion is like an OCD thing, or I'll just say neat freak. That's easier. But anytime the girls, when they try to escape or something and they get dirty, he makes them take off whatever piece of clothing is dirty, and she's got layers upon layers upon layers. And at one point, Hedwig mentions, you wear a lot of shirts. Like, I like that you have all these shirts. Yeah. And those layers they come off, and not in like a gratuitous way over the course of the film, but they're meant to be like her defense mechanism in terms of keeping the rest of the world out. And when you finally, at the end, get to where all she's left with is her tank top, you see why. That she's been cutting herself and scarring herself to deal with kind of the stuff that she's been through. And I loved that carried through the whole movie, that these pieces of clothes, especially in contrast to the other girls who, they dressed, I think, more like typical teenage girls. Like, they're trying to look good for themselves and their friends. And,
they were. I mean, they were. They hadn't really been through what she'd been through.
Right, and just this notion of, like, slowly these layers coming off, and that ended up, that trauma that she had been through, ultimately ended up saving her life. Because the beast...
That scene,
Jesus. when
that
the
gave
beast,
me chills, like, all over.
Yeah, when he finally came out, his whole thing was, like, we are the broken ones, we're actually the next form. Like, we're not broken.
Yes.
We're better. And when he sees that
Right.
she was broken, he's like, oh, you're cool, essentially. Like, we're good.
Yeah.
And I just that part, that whole scene at the end, I just thought it was great. But then
Absolutely.
the act, and so I'm sitting there watching. I know there's a twist. I know, I had known not to read it, but I'm kind of going, okay, well, what is the twist? Like, I thought, is this going to be something where I didn't know. I was trying to. I try not to come up with this stuff before I watch them, because I don't want to. I don't want to kind of figure it out and then be disappointed that I did figure it out. But you also can't help it, right? Like, when you're sitting there watching it, I mean, to a certain degree, you're engrossed in what's happening. But then you also are knowing, okay, something is going to be there. And I'm kind of hesitant to talk about it, because people may not have seen it already. But at the same time, I feel like we have to, because that's a big part of the movie. So let's do this. We're gonna mention kind of the thing at the end. Some people I've read, they felt like they liked the movie more knowing it. For other people, I can understand that they wouldn't. So, fair warning, we're going to talk about it. If you don't want to know about it, you won't offend us in the least if you say goodnight or mute us or close the browser or whatever.
Absolutely.
But we're going to mention it. So Kevin ends up getting away, and Kevin is gone. Oh, that was one thing. Let me ask you this.
Sure.
So one of the things in the movie is that Cassie learns from the psychiatrist or the therapist that if she says Kevin's full name, that the Kevin personality, the kind of the initial personality, will get back control. So she does that, and when he comes back, he essentially has lost 2 years of time. He feels it was 2 years ago. Now, previously in the movie, we had seen Patricia buy a bouquet of flowers and put those flowers down by the subway track. What do you think that meant? Those two things, do you think those two things were related?
I don't know. Like, I was wondering that. Like, because obviously, they don't, I don't know. Because we know Kevin had a rough time of things as a kid. And
because he said the last thing he remembered was a bus, and she put them down. Yeah. What I think is that he tried to kill himself, and they wrestled control away from him, and that's why he was never let back. Is because that they knew that if he had full control, he would try. And she was kind of saying, like, because he a bus, a train, whatever. He tried to jump in front of the tracks or whatever. Right. That's kind of how I took it, and I have no.
Sure.
I have no.
But I can see that because of what he did when she said his name.
Right. He said, "Go get the shotgun and kill me."
Yeah. He's like, immediately, please kill me.
Yeah.
Like, I think you're probably absolutely right. I didn't put that together, but I think you're absolutely right. That makes a lot of sense.
So at the very end of the movie, so Kevin is gone. In fact, the rest of the personalities take control, and they say he's not coming back. We put him way away, and you get the impression that the three, Patricia, Dennis, and Hedwig, along with the Beast, are now fully in control of Kevin's body. And they even mention, because they see Kevin, he's in an abandoned house. He's like looking at himself. He's I think it's Dennis at that point, and he's pulling some of the shotgun pellets out, and he says they kind of go between Patricia and Hedwig and Dennis and saying how the Beast has so much to show us, but we need to feed him another 10 or 11 people. So you're like, oh shit, like this guy's not done. He's just getting started.
Right.
So then cuts over to a diner, and there's these people at the counter, and you're watching the news report, and they mention how that the police are calling Kevin, that they've given him the name the Horde, which is what the personalities, the identities they called the group, Dennis, Patricia, and Hedwig, they called them the Horde. So, mentions the Horde and a woman, and this is when, so I'm sitting there watching going, okay, whatever, what is this? Now, I didn't catch it because I'm terrible at recognizing music, but the score from the movie that we're going to reference apparently started playing when Kevin was in the abandoned house, and I didn't notice it. So there's a waitress there, and she goes, oh, that's like that guy. What was his name? The guy in the wheelchair. At this point in the theater, inside, I'm going, holy shit, holy shit, holy shit. Like, I was by myself, and of course I'm in the theater, so I'm being quiet. But inside, I am freaking the fuck out. She goes, what was his name? In my head, I am going, Mr. Glass, and you hear a voice say, Mr. Glass. She goes, that's it, and they turn, and it's fucking Bruce Willis's character from Unbreakable. And I was like, yes!
So awesome. Yes.
I was like,
so fucking good.
That was better. Like, I could not in a million years have imagined that that's what it was going to be.
Me neither.
Yeah. But, and so I read later on, and apparently he had originally planned on that Kevin, this character, was the security guard who had kidnapped somebody in Unbreakable. And that the sequel to Unbreakable was going to be Cassie. Cassie was the girl that was kidnapped, was going to be her point of view with the Horde at the same time that Dunn is looking for her. So it was going to be basically kind of the events of Unbreakable, just told from her point of view while she's being imprisoned by the Horde. So some of the scenes that like some of Patricia's dialogue and some of that stuff, he had written and he used it in this movie.
Wow.
From way back
I didn't
when.
read into it all, but like I said, I went into it today, and I'm just coming off the high that was the end of the movie still, but like, I didn't read anything into it yet, but I'm super like I got too excited. Like, just my brain was going in like so many directions by the end of it, and I was like, holy shit. And then like I had read the other day, which I didn't realize they were connected, that the next movie is Unbreakable 2. So I'm like, holy shit. I got really excited. It's like, fuck yeah, Unbreakable 2. Then I see this today, and I'm like, oh shit. Like, oh, it's all connected. I'm so excited.
Well, it's funny because I told my wife about it, because she's seen, I think we've watched, well, she's actually, no, she didn't watch The Visit. The last one she watched with me was The Village. And so, which actually I think was the last one. No, I watched Lady in the Lake. I don't think she watched that one. Or Lady in the Water, whatever it's called.
Water,
So I was explaining to her the ending, and she's like, well, would most people get that? And I was like, I don't know. Probably not, no. But I think for the people that still like him as a filmmaker and are still hoping at some point that he revisits Unbreakable, like, it was a really cool thing to do. But I mean, so I saw it on Monday, and I had known, because it was the #1 movie in the country. It made $40 million this weekend. Oh, sorry, QMan60. Are we playing, or is this a gaming talk show? It's both, but we're wrapping up, which is why we haven't started another episode. So that's just to give you an idea of what's going on. Anyway, so I, obviously, unfortunately nowadays, they think everybody sees movies the weekend that they open. So then they're like, hey, let's talk about the ending. And, at first they're like, okay, spoilers, get out of here if you haven't read it. But it takes about a week before they're just like, hey, well, let's just pretend everybody's seen it and write about it. So knowing that there was something, I was like, okay, shit, I need to see this sooner rather than later, just for my own sanity, so that it doesn't get ruined. Now, I read an article that Evan Narcisse wrote, and he knew about this ending way before. seeing it, and he said for him it made it better because he felt like, okay, I'm watching a comic book movie, and that helped him kind of. I think we tend to give comic book movies a little more license, a little more rope sometimes in terms of like how they establish things, probably more over like a psychological thriller type of thing. And so he actually enjoyed it more because he was looking at it slightly differently. And so I wonder now if I go back and watch it again, when I go back and watch it again, if I'll feel the same way. But I do want to rewatch The Visit now because I honestly don't remember what that ended up, what the big thing was there.
I'm glad I didn't say anything earlier because I almost told you and you said you didn't remember.
No, you can tell me. Go ahead. What is it? I can't remember.
No, I'm not you. You just go watch it.
Well,
it's
I
really
don't know.
good,
Dude. I got so much shit to watch. You can tell me after the show so we don't ruin it for anybody.
Okay.
All
right, I'll do that.
But yeah, so it was definitely well worth your time. It's 2 hours long, but it moves fairly quickly.
Right.
And if this is the type of like these kind of lower budget but still pretty tense thing, like if these are the movies he's gonna make from now on, I'm fucking all for it. Like,
bring them.
I mean, Unbreakable 2 probably
bring them
needs
all on.
Yeah, Unbreakable 2 probably needs to be a little bit bigger, but yeah. So what in terms of horror and that type of thing, like what's next? What's the next big thing that people are talking about? Oh, is that Raw? Is that the name of it?
Raw, yeah.
Okay.
Looking forward to that big time. That's coming up. I'm still catching up on a few things from 2016, so I still have The Wailing to watch. But that's on Netflix. I'll get this. Like 2.5 hours, though. I'm like, fuck. That kind of commitment.
That too.
Yeah, that's probably the next couple of things I'll watch. Be The Wailing and actually one of the next things I'm going to watch is not even a horror. I have Hunting the Wilder People.
I don't know that one.
I bought. It's the. Did you see What We Do in the Shadows?
Yeah, I love that movie. That movie's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, me too. Well, this is the next movie from that guy, the guy that directed that. So
he's doing Thor Ragnarok, right?
Yeah.
So
I bought the Wilder People thing because I was like, well, I haven't seen it yet, and it has some people I like in it, and it's supposed to be super fucking funny, and I fucking love What We Did in the Shadows.
What We Did in the Shadows is hilarious. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, great movie. So that's the next couple of things I've got, and I've got a list. I've been writing shit down this year, so I've got several things like the Autopsy of Jane Doe I saw, which is fucking great.
Oh, okay.
I saw several things. I saw The Haulers, which is not a horror movie at all, but it's the movie that Jim from The Office directed. It's like this comedy drama thing.
Oh, okay.
It was really good. It has Charlie from Always Sunny in it. Love that. So I've seen a few things.
Okay. Well, obviously send them my way so that way I can.
Yeah, we'll do.
And then on the gaming front, so you just started Resident Evil last night. Is that correct?
Yes. Yes,
You're enjoying it thus far?
Yes, it's very un-Resident Evil-like. It has the item, so it goes back to the roots in that it has the item management and all that good stuff and some of the puzzles and that. And it brings back the survivability, I think, is what I've read. And I've not played, I've not had an opportunity to fucking die yet, really. I've only played the first, I played it for almost an hour, but I'm thinking, that was, a lot of that was me just fucking around and nowhere to go. I probably played maybe 30 minutes of the actual game, but it took me an hour to get through it because I didn't know what I was doing.
I gotcha.
But man, that shit was good. It's first person Texas Chainsaw Massacre so far.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Very good.
So.
And then you still have your Witcher 3 streams going on, right?
Yep.
Very good.
Still playing The Witcher.
Very good. And I've been kind of absent from streaming of late on account of my son starts high school next year, provided he survives that long. So there's been a lot of meetings and stuff for that. And then, but Gravity Rush 2, I'm going to start that one up tomorrow night at 7. I was a big fan of the original on the Vita. So I'm looking forward to getting into that. So that'll be kind of what I'll be streaming for the time being. And then next week, the first season of Hitman comes out on disc, so I'll be doing that as well.
Sweet. I'm looking forward to both of those because, like, the Gravity Rush, I had no idea what it was, but I've seen trailers and other people playing it, and I'm like, that just looks fucking awesome.
It's a really cool game. It's got some pretty interesting things they do with just the way you kind of get around the world and combat and stuff. It's pretty interesting. So Mitch will be doing Witchering and Resident Evil, and then I'll be Gravity Rush and Hitman Season 1. So I don't know if you follow Mitch and I on Twitter. You should. If you don't, I'm Mr. Binky, MisterBnky, and Mr. Bones, Mr._Bones. We've kind of been kicking around the idea of turning this into a podcast rather than a Twitch show. And so got a poll up there, so go ahead and vote or drop a comment or whatever, and let us know if that's something that y'all would be interested in. Technical limitations of streaming sometimes are being a bit of a pain, and I think that might give us a little bit more flexibility in kind of what we do and such. So anyway, we'd love to hear folks have any ideas on that one. Whatever we decide to do, we'll certainly keep everybody in the loop. And of course, if you miss anything, you can check out the YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/c/dividedbywerewolves, all one word. So that's it for us tonight. This has been episode 13. We really appreciate you hanging out with us tonight. Hope you have a great rest of your evening. And are you? Let's see. I'll be doing Gravity Rush tomorrow night at 7. Mitch, when you back doing Witcher? Is that
probably
Friday?
Well, yeah. If at all, so I moved The Witcher to 10.
Yeah, because of the content.
Because of the boobs.
Yeah.
And so that puts us right smack dab in the middle of Drunk Watch.
Oh,
so
right. Okay.
Sunday. Okay. Maybe Sunday before I'm back on The Witcher.
All right, so definitely Gravity Rush tomorrow night at 7, then Drunk Watch Friday at 10. We'll be getting into the Lunar event, Year of the Rooster, getting into that Capture the Flag. So hopefully we'll see all you there. So thank you again for hanging out. Really appreciate it. And good night, and have a good evening.